You working on yourself?
Yes.
How?
Well, I'm taking steps. I'm listening to what you're saying. I'm watching some of these. That's what brought me here. And to be honest with you, some of it's a little confusing.
Like what?
Well, I don't know where to start because most of it is actually. Let me be more specific.
How about start at the beginning?
So one of the things that got me here was the apology concept. So that's at first I thought I had it. Made sense. And hanging on to anger, that also made complete sense, which is something that I'm trying to overcome. But as soon as I started the process, it's almost like there was a conspiracy against me.
Yes.
All these new challenges, like I figured I could cover this angle, they come at me a different angle.
Give me an example of what you mean.
So I work with a bunch of challenging personalities.
Right.
That's almost the hardest part of my job. And so the typical interactions that you can have, I basically let go. Because I realized, like, I'm getting offended and I care about what they think. All this, what you talk about in here, is about letting that go. So I did all that. But then it became logistics. Then it became like, wait a second, now you're actually making a choice that's inhibiting my ability to do a few things. So the anger response started. And it ran away from me a little bit, but I reined it in, definitely as a result of changing the way I'm seeing the world.
Right.
So it was less, like it could have been a lot worse, but then I caught myself and let it go.
Nice. And so that's a good thing.
I think so. But the fact that, okay, so the silent prayer, there's a good example. Wow. So that's the loudest I've ever had my head. When I'm trying to do that prayer, it's amazing how many different thoughts and how many different things are coming. It's almost louder than if I didn't try to do it.
Yes. And you have a question about that?
Maybe.
What's your question?
Is that normal when you're doing something like that, and how did you deal with that?
Sean want to respond, and then I'll put my 2 cents in.
Yeah, like it's not that they started when you started doing the silent prayer. It's more that they were always there, and you're just starting to notice them.
Okay.
Which is a good thing.
You all the problem was that you were one. This is you, and when you were traumatized as a kid, you went into them, all the noise, and you've been living in there all your life thinking that it's you. And the only thing you're doing now is coming out, and you're being aware of all the noise, the darkness that you've been living in. And if you just watch it, it'll be taken away because it's all evil spirits. It's not you, but it's always been there.
Right. I agree with that.
Speak to the mic for me.
I couldn't agree more.
Right.
But it's almost like saying, there's the mountain, climb it.
Yes.
And, okay, it's hard though.
What?
It's difficult to get to the top of that mountain.
And?
That's all. That's what I'm noticing. Didn't realize how hard it was going to be.
You haven't seen hard yet. It's going to get worse if you stay with it. But climb it anyway.
Definitely.
Go all the way over it, and you will see paradise. That's what Christ had to do. He had to climb that same mountain.
Yeah, those are the times where you wonder if you're able.
What?
I mean, I don't know if I'm on that level. I definitely know I'm not.
You're on your way to it if you go all the way with it and allow them to hang you on the cross, you'll be there.
Great. Let's do it.
But stay with it. You got to go all the way. There's no way around it.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah. And now that you're alive, because you're forgiven, now you got to die. And then you'll know what Christ knew. Everything he knew or know, you will know it. But you got to die from the false illusion of yourself. That makes sense?
Yes,
And it's gonna get worse.
that's also believable.
You ready for that?
I have no choice.
Right. That's right, you have no choice.
It doesn't matter.
There's nothing to go back to.
No.
And you can't say, oh, it's too hard, too long, how long it's gonna take, because that's the devil in you screaming that, it's not you. It'll sound like you. He'll say, oh, it's too hard, just too rough. I can't handle this. But it's not you. It's those spirits dying, and they don't want to die, but you feel it in your body, so you think it's you.
Yeah,
Isn't that amazing?
definitely.
Yeah. So stay with it, stay with it, stay with it. And when you deal with your employees or people at work, if that spirit of anger comes, don't call it you. It's not you anymore. Just watch it. It has never been you. But you got to do your job, whatever you got to do, but don't identify with the anger at all.
That actually is helpful. What you said, that actually makes it a little easier, actually.
Yeah, you're going to feel it, but no one knows that you're feeling but God and you. And so just feel it, but do what you got to do.
I guess a small example would be the toothache I had. Nobody knew.
Right.
But I wasn't in the best mood.
Yeah. Just go through it. Did you forgive your mother?
Yes.
How did that go?
I don't think she knew what was going on.
Nice.
I mean, I remember you specifically saying it doesn't really matter.
No.
There was part of me that was like, should I explain? Okay, no. Great, we're moving on.
Right. Because she knew, she just didn't want to admit it.
Right.
She really didn't know. But she's not ready to overcome.
Which is usually where I think that's my issue,
What?
that she's not ready and that I need to explain better or something like that.
Why is it your issue that she's not ready to leave hell?
It's not. I said
Oh.
before that I would think
Oh,
that way.
yeah.
So that's what made it a little more reasonable of an experience.
Yeah, you're not responsible for bringing anyone out
Right.
of their hell. Leave them in their hell. Isn't that amazing?
Definitely.
You notice God don't force them to come out of their hell. He doesn't force them, right?
No.
He can bring everybody out of hell just like that. But he lets you stay in the hell until you're ready.
That's a fact.
So leave mama in hell.
Okay.
Amazing. Any other questions?
Oh, for sure. I can't think any right now.
Oh, okay.
Now that I got the mic,
All right. Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.